Hey guys, it's Amanda Creative Gardener. So, last time I showed you this is a flamboyant tree and I have cut it back quite a bit. I've cut back mainly the front side of it, and I say this is the front side because it's actually leaning in this direction. I noticed that as it's been growing, there's a slight slant to it, and I think you can see it there, and the area around the roots on this side seems to have raised. So, I mean, this whole area, this seems to be going down and this is raised. So I thought I'd better take some drastic action, and I have lobbed off the front parts. Now it's going to grow back. I've tried to be as clean as I can with the cuts because of the height. I may have to cut back a bit further, like here, so you can increase the risk of disease. So I'm going to probably cut it here. What I should have done was put an incision there at the front there, and then chopped, and then as it gets cut, it falls clean. So what I'm left with now are branches with leaves. I've got some in here. I've got some branches, some larger branches, and these pods. Now, there are several things that I'm going to be doing, but the tree itself does have a range of medicinal properties, and I'm still learning about them, so I won't be experimenting on myself. But the leaves, it is toxic though. It's toxic, but it does have medicinal properties. And actually, I think I will just trim that branch while I'm looking at it here. Anyway, but I'm going to be telling you what I'm going to be doing with these things. So, I'm not going to be growing any more flamboyant trees, but actually, maybe could grow some smaller ones and keep them small. They make really nice bonsai tree plants. So maybe I might try that. Anyway, and they germinate quite quickly. They have like a 90% germination rate. But if you look at these pods themselves, look at this one. Look how long it is. Look how many seeds it has. So all those little ridges you can see are where the seeds are sitting. So they've got an amazing amount of seeds. But what you can apparently do with them, because they're very woody, is they can be burnt as firewood. Now my son goes to quite a few beach bonfires, so that's one of the things that can be done with them. I guess, if you're a garden centre and you sell seeds, you could potentially do that. So that's the pods themselves. The branches around my garden, I have planted. This is just at the front. So I've planted Mexican sunflower. Now the Mexican sunflower gets woody, dies off, brittles, breaks. So it's not a good hedging plant. It's good chop and drop, wonderful. But as a hedge, you have to really maintain it and keep it at a height, cutting it back on a regular basis so it maintains its vigorous growth. So what I do is, like here you can see some holes, so I take the branches and I will be just covering some of the holes with the branches. We've got quite a few, so I may be able to do this area. And with the larger branches, just like here, you can see I've done it with the frangipani branches I cut off. I still need to just neaten this up, but I'd cut back quite a few branches and I've placed it here. Now this will eventually just die down, and it provides, there will be a mound of nutrient-rich soil over time. It's going to take years, but at least I've started the process. And so anything else that I start growing, because what I'm doing is planting some more hedge-like plants around the perimeter, and so that's what I will be using the branches for. Now the leaves, I've caught them just in time because they're, starting to come off quite easily. They're dying out. This, the flamboyant tree, it's been my experience that it will lose all its leaves. That's what this one and the other one that I've got in the garden has done twice in its growing period. So what I do with the leaves is I'm going to take them off these branches and I'm going to use it as chop and drop. They actually change to a nice kind of reddy colour, so it's a really nice change, but they're going to break down and eventually, go back into the soil, which is a good thing. And what else? The other place I've used this is on some of the paths, so it's been a nice kind of change to have the kind of semi-redness of these leaves on the paths. Almost, well, no, it doesn't look like wood chips, but it's a nice colour. So that's what I'm going to be doing with the parts that I've got from the flamboyant tree. I put these in the wheelbarrow, but I've brought my seat here and a drink. I'm just going to take the leaves off and then repair parts of the hedge, just as the lower parts, because they're not big branches apart from those ones. The larger areas, let me show you one of the larger areas that I've got. There's a couple, but there's 3 spots here that I want to just build up. And as you can see, all of this has been built up over time and it's breaking down. See, all of that's breaking down. It'll be very brittle and it will just return. The soil in here, I mean, I've been doing this for about 3-4 years now, but the soil is really great there. What happened before is that it was very limestone. There's a lot of this, a lot of rocks here, and there was hardly any soil. We've got a very clay soil. Yeah, so like areas like this is a large area. I just need to kind of, put something there. But I'm just layering it, and then as time goes over, I've got plants at the front. We're hitting the dry season, so they're having a bit of difficulty. But yeah, just continue to add, and it builds up. So that's what I'm going to be getting on with now. Sort out the leaves, store these, allow them to dry out even more. They start to crack at the sides. See that slight crack in the side, and then they open up and release the seeds. I don't know how long that's going to take, but we've still got some more on the trees. But I am going to lob off that back. It's interfering with this trumpet tree, and the trumpet tree itself I need to trim as well, but that's for another day. Anyway, so I'm going to get on, but I hope that's been useful. Show you some of the ways in which I use, when I cut back, trim some of the trees, I always use the leaves in chop and drop. I always use the branches to help build up the deadwood fence, deadwood hedge, but also provide, stops for the gaps in between the Mexican sunflower and all the plants that are there. And now we've got a new use for the pods. So let me know if you've got one, if you've grown one, what you do with it. If you do, I'm really not an expert, I'm just learning as well, but documenting my journey along the way. So I hope that's been an inspiration for you. Oh, the other thing, I might try, the seeds can be used to make jewellery, so I'm going to see how I get on with that. Use it in the studio. And some of the wood, I was looking at it, it's hardwood, it's very heavy, so when it dries I might be able to use it in my wall hangings to create, the posts, the dowels for my wall hangings. So we'll see. I'll be experimenting along the way. Or you can, maybe you can use the wood in creating, like if you cut it, creating jewellery. But earrings, necklace, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to get on. I hope you have a very blessed day.